don't pretend that I brought it up. No, you brought it up, and you made it a giant issue, and you're the one hurting the progressive cause and the trans rights cause. We win on every goddamn issue on trans rights. Why are you going and dying on the hill that no one agrees with you on? You're going to ruin trans rights on other issues.
Okay. That's Thanksgiving. And it's been happening for years and years and years. Okay. Anyway, we're going to talk about the new trans panic happening inside of Congress.
Sarah McBride doesn't get a say. I mean, this is a biological man. He does not belong in women's spaces, women's bathrooms, locker rooms, changing rooms, period, full stop.
Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace introducing a resolution to ban transgender women from using the women's restrooms at the U.S. Capitol. The move comes just weeks after the first transgender person was elected to Congress.
Maybe shorter streams and diversify instead. Okay, I'm done taking chat. I'm done. I'm done. Shut the f up. Stop trying to offer me advice on what to do as a media personality, please. What is happening here? Okay. I know you're doing it because your heart is in the right place, but please, okay? That's crazy.
Democratic Congresswoman-elect Sarah McBride will be sworn in January. She responded in a post on social media. She writes this, quote, "This is a blatant attempt from far right-wing extremists to distract from the fact that they have no real solutions to what Americans are facing. We should be focused on bringing down the cost of housing, health care, and child care, not manufacturing wars. Delawareans sent me here to make the American dream more affordable and accessible, and that's what I'm focused on." Some of McBride's soon-to-be Democratic colleagues
Maybe folks are scared and are reacting, I don't know, to what? Me doing an extra podcast?
defended the incoming lawmaker. Congressman Joe Morrell telling Axios, quote, "I think we have a lot of problems in America. I don't think spending time worrying about the restroom is an order of priority here." Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez called the move plain bullying, while Congresswoman Becca Balint said, our panel is back.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has asked how she will check who is qualified to use the restroom.
Congresswoman Nancy Mace has a new resolution that would ban transgender women from using the women's bathroom at the Capitol. Is that something that you would support, or like what are your? It's a brand new resolution that was just introduced in the last hour or two.
Oh, gotcha.
APAC stooge Sarah McBride with the same opinions on Israel as Donald Trump. Yeah, I don't give a shit, dude. What the f? Like, yeah, that's unimaginably cruel. That still doesn't mean that she should be victim to the f. Yeah, we're gonna combat the coming from the trans congressperson by being transphobic. Oh, I hadn't considered that Republicans might not be genuine. I'm a rookie, so that's a shocking revelation to me. Show me the time Democrats even asked for suggestions on how to cut the Pentagon from me, you, or anyone else in their base. So I'll take a conversation on it. I said, I don't think a defense contractor who happens to be the wealthiest billionaire on the planet is going to genuinely listen to your concerns about what parts of the budget they're going to cut. This is preferring someone lie to you rather than one who doesn't even do that. Unk is ready to go. He's ready to fight, dude. We're squashing this beef on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is going to be crazy. He is separating himself from you, LaMaFayal. No, that's my uncle. Okay, shut the f up. Like, you're not invited? It's at my house. What do you mean? F you mean I'm not invited? Hello? Does he even cook anything good, though? No. He doesn't cook shit, but it doesn't matter. He's an incredibly important part of Thanksgiving. It's funny because, like, he's going fully Ethan Klein. First of all, no, he's not. And secondly, that's my uncle, okay? What the f is wrong with you guys? Like, I don't think you understand. Or I don't know why you don't personally consider, like, this exact same scenario playing out in your life as well. Like, yeah, this, like, some of Jank's difference in opinion than from myself, okay, is actually fantastic because it brings me closer to the true American experience. Debating your uncle at Thanksgiving. This makes me so happy. God, I love Thanksgiving so much. I'm such a f***ing Ameriboo. It is hilarious that people say I hate America. Because I love the American experience, and there is nothing more American experience than literally having a spirited and heated debate with your uncle who has maybe some right-wing tendencies. Obviously, for most people, it's like way worse, okay? But the uncle-nephew bond is undefeated. And if you guys think that there is anything that could come in between the uncle nephew bond that exists that is stronger than anything else. You are wrong. He was obviously not being serious with his tweet at Elon. I think he is. I think he does genuinely think he's just using Elon responding to him to bully the Dems. But ultimately, I still don't think that like Elon is going to be responsive regardless. Except your Republican uncle runs a progressive news org? Yes.
Don't pretend that I brought it up. No, you brought it up, and you made it a giant issue, and you're the one hurting the progressive cause and the trans rights cause. We win on every goddamn issue on trans rights. Why are you going and dying on the hill that no one agrees with you on? You're going to ruin trans rights on other issues.
Okay. That's Thanksgiving. And it's been happening for years and years and years. Okay. What the is this? It's been happening for so many years. Are you going to have him on stream? Yes. The heated Jank versus Murat debate.
Get him.
That's all I have to say.
No, you got more. Come on. I just put the soundtrack on.
Wait for the music, though. Wait for the music.
All right. What else, Murat?
Get me.
That's it, dude.
Talk about it. Speak on it, King.
No, sorry.
Speak on it, King.
I haven't watched Phil in forever. And yeah, this whole he said, she said, I don't know what to think. It's not for me. It's not for me. It doesn't.
Well, yeah,
he does great. He does great. Yeah, he does great. He wins all the
Phenomenon.
time. Yeah. And he's got great news. Yeah, I got you, but I don't get it. I literally don't get it.
Okay, debate won by Murat. Okay, there you go. TKO.
Okay, there you go.
Jank admits he doesn't get it.
Do you ever open the
Like, I
dictionary
don't get,
and go,
like-
oh, I don't get it. They're telling me things.
Yeah, I think this happened. This began this began years ago. Like back when we were in New Jersey. We used to get together as a family in New Jersey for Thanksgiving. In my grandparents' house that they sold. They don't even have it anymore. And it was this is not Thanksgiving. This was not a very spectacular Thanksgiving. This was a little bit different. Shaky Gurga, baby. Oh, here's the famous clip of the first ever Thanksgiving. This was how many? It was 5 years ago. I think it was 6 years ago almost.
With this, dude. No. We're gonna have an actual interview where I will ask you some tough questions. Okay.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna ask you some tough questions about what you plan to do for CA 25. But right, for the time being. All right, everybody.
We gotta go, guys. Not a big deal.
He's flexing. Bro, your hair was curly. Brother, it still is wavy.
Stop. I'm stopping the recording. All right, we'll be back.
Guys.
Murat's
Murat.
angry. All right.
This is the first ever Thanksgiving. This was the first ever Thanksgiving that took place. I am infinitely amused by Jank's seemingly earnest and entirely not self-aware belief that major figures in both parties somehow owe him personally an audience and input into their decisions. Like, not as an equal citizen, but as a semi-successful media brand, very delusional. Okay, I have an issue with that. I take issue with that. He is. I take issue with what Adam Johnson is saying, because Shaky Gurga has had an impact on the Democratic Party. Okay, all jokes aside, he literally did. I mean, him and Kyle were formative figureheads in the fucking Justice Democrats. Like, all of the progressive squad members that were elected, like, they came from the Justice Democrats movement. They created that. They did do that. They were very important. Like, their current, or not Kyle, but Cenk's current positions on police, immigration, or his like concessions on some of this reactionary trans panic does not change that. And now you got Brianna Wu at the Justice Dems. Is she still there? Ugh. Why are you pronouncing his name like that? Is this a weird new Islamophobic angle you're trying out? Oh, Shaky Gurga? No, it's just, for years and years, I've heard people mispronounce my uncle's name. Okay. But I've never heard Shaky Gurga before. And until I found one of those like weirdo incel podcasts, who referred to him as Shaky Gurga. And it was the most insane way to refer to him that it stuck with me. I cannot wait to show him that clip, by the way, because I don't know if he knows what Shaky Gurga is. Yeah, here's the TikTok.
You appear to have a crush on HasanAbi. Is that correct?
Yes, if he ever watches this, I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
For being on here, he hates it.
Why? Okay.
He's a socialist and he knows the formula of the podcast. I'm not going to go into, you understand.
It's possible that because he's such a low-tier, low-brow debater.
He's not a debater, and he's been very clear that he doesn't. He's not a debate lord.
Because he's literally a moron, so it doesn't surprise me he can't debate.
I completely disagree. He doesn't say that he's the smartest person. He's an internet personality who
is connected to Shaky Gurga.
A political
Shaky Gurga. Yo, f***ing Shaky Gurga. What the hell, man? What the f*** is Shaky Gurga? What? Do you see your aunt getting owned by Dominic Tarzinski? I did not, and I don't want to see it. This dude called you a moron and then says Shaky Gurga. Yeah. It's clear to me that the man on the whatever podcast who was tasked with being a creepy sexual harasser, but in a debating fashion, to all the ladies that they hire to be on the podcast to be ritualistically humiliated, is the actual beacon of intellect. Hey, low-tier, low-brow debater. Oh, the Barron Trump thing has been popping off.
I like my suitcase. I have to go to school now. Yeah, you will have.
Maybe this is why we haven't heard from this motherfucker, bro. I like my suitcase. Bro has the Mind Lolly accent. I like my suitcase.
I like my suitcase. I have to go to school now.
Yeah, you will have lunch and then you go to school.
Now I'm gonna go.
Yeah, first you will have lunch and then you go to school.
Now you can do reading, writing, and arithmetic.
I can't believe you're making fun of a Balkan baby. I mean, I feel bad, but like it's very clear that like he's only been around his mom. Like that's it. How the fuck do you grow up in America and still have a thick ass accent like that? Bro, that's crazy. Hello. All Ottoman emperors had Balkan moms. Just wait. He will revert at NYU and you will see. Trust Allah's plan. True. And to be honest, he does have the like physical structure of a Dave Shirame. Like that's what the Ottomans did when they were like enslaving the white kids. They would literally look for like tall ones. You know what I mean? Tall motherfuckers like Baron. So he is someone who could reach up to the highest ranks within the Ottoman Empire. Like Ottoman Emperor is always nothing new. Baron is a sultan in the making. New York is the empire state. The sun will rise in the west. He will convert to Islam at NYU and make America a caliphate with a capital in California, the new Andalus. Inshallah, brothers. As it has been written, it shall be. It's on for the love of God. Stop glazing a fallen empire. It's only fallen if you let it fall. If it rises once again from the ashes in your heart, like a phoenix, in all of its glory, restoring its former glory of the caliphate that it will bring to the Western world, then, you know, it has not fallen at all. You gotta think about it like that. Dr. Oz, in charge of Medicare and Medicaid. Boris Johnson was the prime minister. He's an Ottoman son. And now you have someone who will become the next vizier. Yeah, it hasn't fallen. It's just hibernating. Everybody shut up. Anyway, let's get back to Margarine Titan Green. Obviously, immediately, the Republican congresspersons have been like, oh, how can we get like super transphobic for no fucking reason? This is how.
Yeah. Congresswoman Nancy Mace has a new resolution that would ban transgender women from using the women's bathroom at the Capitol. Is that something that you would support, or like what are your? It's a brand new resolution that was just introduced in the last hour or two.
Oh, gotcha. I support a resolution that keeps all biological men out of women's bathrooms, locker rooms, and private places. Not only here in the Capitol complex, our office buildings, but all taxpayer-funded facilities.
How does one? I guess the logistics question would be: how does one check, like, if someone is qualified to use the ladies' room? Then, in that case, obviously there's a new openly transgender member of Congress, but
right, which
more
is
generally,
he's a man. He's a biological male, so he is not allowed to use our women's restrooms our women's gym, our locker rooms, and our
How can you legally dress like this and be in Congress? Oh my God. Okay, first of all, it's very impressive that ever since the incident, Marjorie Titan Green has been able to dress herself. Sometimes it doesn't look good, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be celebrating this impressive accomplishment. Good job, Marjorie. You're doing a great job. Okay? You're doing a great job. And we are proud of you. Okay? We are proud of you, Marjorie. Don't listen to the naysayers. Baby steps. Okay? She's putting that shit on. Okay, I wouldn't go that fucking far. Calm down.
with spaces that are specified for women. He's a biological male. He has plenty of places he can go.
Okay, and should they make like gender neutral bathrooms? I guess like logistically. No.
Wait, Barron was born March 2006. Melania became a citizen in July 2006. He can be aborted too. God damn.
What happens if they have to go to the
in
bathroom?
The men's room, and he has a bathroom in his office, just like all of us do. And that's where, I use the restroom most of the time in my office. If he has a bathroom that'll be designated for him. But men need to respect our spaces. And that's what this election was all about. This was a mandate from the American people that are not only fed up with the open borders, they're fed up with inflation, they're fed up with the economy, but they're fed up with the left shoving their sick trans ideology down our throats and invading our spaces in our women's sports. So sorry for the uncomfortable question, but I'm giving you the direct answer. The American people spoke at the election. They're sick of this shit. And so the new member of Congress that was voted into Congress on behalf of his district in Delaware needs to respect my space, my privacy, and other women's space and privacy, because he is not a woman. So that's
my theory that the biggest transphobes also do not fit the traditional gender binary standards themselves still holds. I mean, for Marjorie, it's a little unique because she doesn't even fit the standard of a human being, really. More so just like a Titan from Attack on Titan. But it's always these demonic weirdos who are like, that's a man. How can you tell? We can always tell. It's like, what do you mean we can always tell? You're about to get trans panic defensed. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why are you uplifting a standard that you don't abide by? It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Congresswoman.
And then here is my favorite swinger in Congress, Nancy Mace.
The locker room should not be in changing rooms.
I'm once again firmly committed to less bisexual visibility in Congress and in general. Nancy Mace, our bisexual congressperson who authored the bill. She is a bisexual swinger, for those of you who do not know.
Rooms should not be in our restrooms either, and I'm going to be standing in the brink, standing in his or her way, putting a stop to this insanity and this nonsense. She doesn't get a say. This is about real women and women's rights, and the far left, radical left, they want to erase women and women's rights, and I'm not going to let them.
Would you want Sarah McBride then to use the men's restroom outside of the chamber?
She was born a biological male. She should use the men's restroom.
What sports are they doing in the women's bathroom? Olympic shitting and farting.
How would, what's the mechanism for...
Wait, they split? Oh my God. Oh my God, they split. Remember when she went in front of church and was like, my husband is laying thick pipe in my butt or whatever the fuck. She was like, I'm having the most amount of sex all the time. And everyone at the church, everyone at the fucking, at the prayer breakfast was like, what the fuck did you just say? Yeah.
7. I was getting picked up at 7:45. Patrick, my fiance, tried to pull me by my waist over this morning in bed, and I was like, no, baby, we don't got time for that this morning. I got to get to the prayer breakfast, and I got to be on time, and a little TMI, but he can wait. I'll see him later tonight.
Like, that's crazy. That is a fucking nutty thing. Oh, also, Nancy Mace is like that Seinfeld character of the woman with multiple faces. She literally, I've never seen someone like her before, where she just looks different in every photo, in every different angle. Anyway, let's see what the ABC reporter had to say about this new transphobic bill.
Congresswoman Mace, can I ask you a question as you walk here? So the question is, with your piece of legislation about banning women from using...
100% yes.
My question to you is...
It doesn't go far enough. I'll be filing more bills.
It doesn't go far enough? What's the next step?
Have said that it was created in response to Congresswoman-elect McBride.
100%. And
but should legislation be created...
She looks like a different person because I don't know what it is. Maybe she's got like hella sharp angles or something. Or maybe she's just like a shapeshifter. But she looks like an entirely different person in like pretty much every fucking angle. It's crazy.
Targeted at one specific person?
It doesn't mention anyone in the legislation, but
you've said it was aimed at her.
No, I have said it's a result of this. I'm not going to allow biological men into women's private spaces. I will stand in the brink and stand in the way of anyone on the radical left who thinks that it's okay for a penis to be in a women's locker room or a bathroom or a changing room. Hell no.
She's like, a penis is only inside of me, please. Yeah, that's it. I was sent a link to a longer version of Nancy Mace playing the drinking game, spitting into someone's mouth. Her spit is passed around like 4 times before being thrown up by some guy. I love this because like this is the butchest lesbian Trump supporter woman. The archetype was there, okay? The archetype was there and we just didn't see the signs. That's not her, obviously. She's the first person here. For those of you who don't know, because you're going to be like, what? Nancy Mace? Which one is she? Because her face is so different all the time. Here's Nancy Mace taking a shot and then making out and spitting the shot into the coolest lesbian I've ever encountered. Like, dude, she literally has the Ziz cut. How is that possible? Like, I didn't know you could have butch power like this. She got the same haircut as Ziz, dude. She's about to throw up the Z pose. Bro, I'm telling you, conservatives are fucking freaks, dog. They are fucking freaks. They do the craziest freak shit, okay? They do the craziest shit all the time. That's why all those Moms of Liberty ladies get like busted doing swinger parties and shit all the goddamn time. Oh, he throws up. I didn't even know he threw up. Oh my God. I don't remember that part of the video. Anyway.
I'm not going to stand for it, and the speaker said it would be in the House rules package. If it's not, I'll be ready with a motion, a privileged motion, to force a vote on this. This is not okay. I'm a survivor of rape. I'm a survivor of sexual abuse, and I'm not going to allow any man in any female private spaces.
Now, Speaker,
end of story. And by the way, I'm getting death threats from men pretending to be women. Why is it that these crazy people, the insanity, the radical left, are willing to kill women over a man's right to be in a women's restroom?
Speaker Johnson has said he wants to treat every new member with the words dignity and respect. Forcing this congressperson to go into a male restroom, is that dignity and respect?
Forcing women to share.
They're going to transvestigate Nancy Mace? Yes, of course they are. Again, there is no end to that, okay? There is no end to the transvestigation concept. If you're transphobic and you lean into the transphobia narratives, you will inevitably become a transvestigator. It is the final state of transphobia.
Private spaces with men is not dignity and not respect. And I'm absolutely going to stand in the way of anyone who thinks it's okay for a man to be in our locker room, in our changing rooms, in our dressing rooms, in women's bathrooms. And in fact, if you agree with that, you're crazy, because that's not okay. It's not okay.
Congresswoman,
Thank you, Congressman. We're going to peel away from this conversation, Kira. So a little bit of the context of what we were just talking about, and I'm going to have my cameraman step out of the active driveway here, was that Nancy Mace put forward this piece of legislation. It was aimed, she said, although the name is not in the legislation, at a new member of Congress, Sarah McBride of Delaware, who is a transgender woman. She has said that the legislation would prevent women from using male restrooms and vice versa in the United States Capitol. Speaker Johnson has said, he made a statement earlier today where he said he believes...
Oh, that's awesome. They already are doing it. God, the people obsessed with this stuff are so off the deep end. This is how ridiculous Gunther is. Here's part of proof that Michelle is a man and also Nancy Mace. Honestly, I believe Nancy Mace is/was a man. Anyone can get breast implants and grow their hair long to look like a woman. She is visually not a real woman. At GOP, at House GOP, at Senate GOP, at SCOTUS blog, at U.S. Supreme Court, at Trump Truth Post, at Governor Ron DeSantis, at Ron DeSantis, at Nancy Mace, at FBI, at CIA, at ATF. I personally think Nancy Mace is a man. She looks manly and she's full of shit about FEMA. She should ask Trump about FEMA, how he stole the money from FEMA and for the military. Nancy Mace is a man. No idea why people think he's hot. Nancy Mace saying anyone is disrespectful to women when is a rape victim supporting a man found liable for sexual assault is crazy as hell. A rape victim turning into a rape apologist? What? Wait, never mind. This is just someone saying normal things. I'm convinced Nancy Mace is a man. Nancy Mace is secretly a man. Breaking. Representative Nancy Mace introduces measure to ban men from women's bathrooms on Capitol Hill. Sarah McBride, who is the first trans member of Congress, blasted the attempt as far-right extremism. Dumb question, but which is which? I honestly don't know. Which one is the real woman? They both look like men. This bill is objectively targeting a single person, so I don't know how they can look into a camera and say it doesn't. It affects a single person. How can they say it isn't targeting? I mean, it is. It absolutely is. What is this? Trump supporters arguing with Democrats? The fuck is this? The shocking MAGA couple footage. I almost couldn't post it. Chaya had to tag which of them was Nancy Mace in case her drooling fans started harassing the wrong woman for being trans. Yup.
Believes a quote, man is a man and woman is a woman, but he also called for, as you heard me ask the congressman about, dignity and respect for new members of Congress, and that would include this new member of Congress, Sarah McBride from Delaware, who is a transgender woman. All of that to say this is now an issue that Congress is forced to grapple with here, and one that they've never been forced to grapple with before, because Sarah McBride is the first trans person elected to the United States House of Representatives, and it's very much unclear at this hour what Mike Johnson plans to do, although Nancy Mace is under the impression that her resolution or something of the like will now go into the new House of Representatives rules package, which would theoretically be voted on and approved by the next Congress come January.
And just trying to look back at Trump's ads as he was running for president.
Damn, it almost feels like the trans women in sports was, just a way to feed into the transphobia, trans panic narratives and the hysteria exhibited by many Americans. And addressing this as though it's a serious concern that people have was just silly. And that we should have just brushed aside these conversations by immediately being like, why the fuck do you care about this? You're a goddamn weirdo. Your pathological obsession with trans people is obsessive. And I do not care to have this discussion with you. Perhaps that could have been a much more successful way to deal with this subject matter. But no, what the fuck do I know, you know?
I mean, he's probably going to be right along with Nancy Mace if she pushes for this. She won't get any pushback from the president-elect, right?
It's very much unclear. We know that President-elect Trump made targeting Kamala Harris's position on transgender issues a key point of his campaign. And we also know that he's given Speaker Mike Johnson, the president-elect has, rope to essentially run the House of Representatives how he sees fit. So it's really up to Mike Johnson at this hour, and it's really hard to parse what Mike Johnson wants to do. Again, he made that statement just moments ago before cameras. He made a point, actually, to call cameras for this impromptu public statement where he walked out to cameras in a way that was unplanned, said he believes a man is a man and a woman is a woman. I'm quoting him here, and then went on to say that he believes that each member of the House, each new member, and every member in general should be afforded dignity and respect. So we don't quite know where he lands on this, but Nancy Mace has said that he promised her that her opinion on this and her position on this and her resolution, which you just heard her outline there speaking to me, will be included in this new rules package put forward by the House of Representatives come January.
Kristen Soltis-Anderson, trans issues became such a flashpoint in this election, in no small part because of that one ad that the Trump team.
What the fuck is up with why are the subtitles like this? What?
Team put a lot of money behind that really broke through. The flip side of, talking about this is that usually these measures impact.
How do I fix that? It says background color black. It's just not showing it.
For people, whether it's transgender women and transgender girls in women's sports, or a situation like this where there is one, in no small part because of that one ad.
Nope. Chat, shut the fuck up. Font color is fine. It's just weird and it's busted. Look, font color white, font size 100%, background color black. It's normal. Opacity is 75%. That's also normal. Here, let's make it 100%. It's not changing anything.
Member of Congress.
Y'all are dumb. Oh, wait, why did that happen? Why did that happen?
Who is clearly being targeted by this bill. Clearly, Nancy Mace is going to get some attention for doing this. When you look at this back and forth, how do you see this cutting?
Well, first, I think it's important to unpack why that ad was one that Republicans ran so often and ultimately felt was a successful ad in the campaign. And I think it comes down to the very end of the ad, where it sets up this dynamic of Democrats are for this small group that you're not a part of. Donald Trump's for you. And so when the debate is what should be prioritized, should you be prioritized? I mean, that's an argument that Republicans found worked with a lot of voters. It is also true that over the last, say, 6-7 years, we have seen public opinion shift in a pretty significant way against considering gender identity ahead of biological sex. I mean, particularly among Republicans, it's something like 9 out of 10 believe that biological sex should be considered first. So that's part of why Nancy Mace is doing this. No, she's run afoul of Republicans in the past for anti-Trump stances. She's had quite a journey on that front, and so it wouldn't surprise me if this isn't part of saying, like, look at me, I'm a true conservative, I'm taking this action.
Let's watch the piece of the ad that you were just kind of running through that sets up this debate, or did, for the presidential election. Watch.
It's hard to believe, but it's true. Even the liberal media was shocked Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners and illegal aliens.
Every transgender.
Dude, why? I can't believe they're just like playing this again and again and again. I feel like they want it to be a successful ad because it corresponds to their own personal biases, right? Why are they not talking of trans males? They don't care about that. They just deny the existence of trans men to begin with.
Inmate would have access.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
That last line, Lanhi, really seemed to kind of cut through. And to Kristen's point, there were some.
They kept saying it was effective, but it was only effective in places where House members weren't counter-messaging. Sherrod Brown and Tammy Baldwin did anti-trans ads, the counter-message ads, saying they were radically pro-trans. Like, it's not radical. It's not radical to be this way. I mean, Andy Bashar is the perfect fucking counter to this, okay? The most popular governor in the entire fucking nation in a plus 35 red state, and he is pro-trans unconditionally. He's vetoed anti-trans bills over and over again. He does not give a shit. He's uncompromising on it. And he has a fantastic answer to this where he's like, nope, those are God's children. Those are our fucking neighbors. Those are my constituents. I will always welcome them into the state capitol. And I will always take photos with them. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should apologize for singling out these people. Okay? That's it. How the fuck does he get away with it? It almost feels like if you just stand 10 toes down and say, no, y'all are being fucking weird. Those are just like normal ass people. Fuck you. Yeah, here.
Transgender sports bill. First, you will not find one example, not one, of a competitive advantage by a transgender athlete in Kentucky. You will not find one. The reason is KHSAA was ahead of its time and has already implemented very stringent standards and rules that prevent it. I mean, the rules actually say they prevent it. They say that an athlete either has to transition before they reach puberty, where you don't have then that hormonal potential advantage, or you have to go through hormonal therapy for enough time to where there is not a competitive advantage. It's directly written in. So KHSAA has already very strictly prevented the thing that people are trying to get other folks riled up about. There cannot be an athlete with an uncompetitive advantage in Kentucky under the current rules. So what then does this do? I worry that it makes kids that are already struggling feel worse about themselves. Listen, I remember middle school. Middle school was hard. I have kids in middle school. It's hard on them. Now imagine middle school with social media. Now imagine middle school being a child who is trans, who's probably either not on a sports team or certainly not playing it for anything other than meeting other kids and trying to be just accepted as a human being. Listen, I love sports. I love watching them. But my faith calls me to put compassion and care for my fellow human being above anything else. I think about one of my favorite stories in the Bible where, at the time, people would keep kids away from major religious leaders or government figures, right? And Jesus turns to his apostles and he says, let the kids come to me and do not hinder them. He didn't read in any exceptions, none. And this is something that governors of Indiana and Utah have done. So anybody claiming that somebody's being driven by any woke this or that, well, first of all, I read that to my wife and she laughed out loud and said, do they know you still try to wear a suit you bought 20 years ago? And we're just trying to do the right thing. I think people by now, through everything we've been through everything we've said at this podium, knows that I'm not driven by any base. I'm driven by what I believe is right. And here, I'm trying to put what I believe is a calling to always come at things with the greatest of care and compassion for our individuals, especially our youth first.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's not the most charismatic guy, obviously, but like, it don't matter. Obviously, regardless, I mean, there is a method out there. There's a way to do this. Tim Waltz has done it as well. This is what the average South American Christian thinks they sound like when they spit vile shit out. Yeah. Opinion on the farmers' protest in the UK? I don't know, but anytime I hear about a farmers' protest, I'm immediately inclined to assume it's reactionary. Sorry, don't get mad at me for saying that, but when I hear truckers' protests or farmers' protests, I think, uh-oh. Except for India. In India, it's good. I'm just setting up my camera and stuff. It's not ready yet, but I'm just setting this stuff up to get it ready. Just ADHD things? No. I'm getting it ready for Dr. Mike. I'm getting my body ready too. I'm so fucked. We're gonna watch the Theo Von clip from the docket. Don't worry. Boy finally talks about Hasan versus Ethan Klein and Twitch demonetization. Watch a clip of Trudeau blaming the labor shortage in your vassal state. I did talk about the, are you gonna go to a gym? Is he coming to your house? No, we're gonna go to a gym. We're gonna go to my gym. Why am I fucked? Because Dr. Mike is crazy. I mean, he is hardcore. He's Mr. Push Till Failure. He's the Mr. Science-Based Lifter who is also scientifically modified. I'm more of a Jeff Nippard kind of guy. He is a maniac. You are going to be Raglamau. I know. He's going to leave you crying for more. Yeah. And I already did legs. Yesterday. And yes, I am familiar that Dr. Oz is now he's in charge of Medicare and Medicaid, which I'm excited about. I said finally some Turkish DEI. But anyway, that's the anti-trans bill, and it feels like they're using that as another opportunity to be super transphobic.
Mr. Speaker, is freshman
and it almost feels like there's nothing going on. It almost feels like this has nothing to do with fairness in sports at all. Oh my God, I'm shocked. And everything to do with just being transphobic. Oh my God, I'm shocked.
Sarah McBride, a man or a woman?
Look, I'm not going to get into this. We welcome all new members with open arms who are duly elected representatives of the people. I believe it's a command that we treat all persons with dignity and respect, and we will. And I'm not going to engage in silly debates about this. There's a concern about the uses of restroom facilities and locker rooms and all that. This is an issue that Congress has never had to address before, and we're going to do that in deliberate fashion with member consensus on it, and we will accommodate the needs of every single person. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Do you plan on bringing Nancy Mace's transgender bill and putting that into the rules package?
I'm not going to address the plans on any of that. I just told you what I'm going to say about the issue. I'm not going to engage in this. We don't look down upon anyone. We treat everybody with dignity and respect. That's a principle that I've pursued my whole life, and we will take care of this, issue of first impression for Congress, as we will any other thing. We'll provide appropriate accommodation for every member of Congress.
This can happen here. The ADL reacts to anti-Semitic attacks in Amsterdam. Oh my God, they are. And then the MAGA backlash came in hot, and Mike Johnson had to clarify his statements.
Hello, everybody. I just want to make a statement for all of you here and be very clear. I was asked a question this morning at the leadership gaggle, and I rejected the premise because the answer is so obvious. For anybody who doesn't know my well-established record on this issue, let me...
He's like, I have a long-standing record of being transphobic, okay? I, Michael Penis, have always been transphobic. I just didn't even think that you guys would bring it up to me. This is utterly ridiculous. So let me make it clear.
Be unequivocally clear. A man is a man and a woman is a woman, and a man cannot become a woman. That said, I also believe, that's what Scripture teaches, what I just said, but I also believe that we treat everybody with dignity, and so we can do and believe all those things at the same time, and I wanted to make that clear for everybody because there's lots of questions, but that's where I stand. I've stood there my whole life, and those are facts. Hello, everybody.
Thank God. Thank God he clarified. I was really worried that he wasn't sufficiently bigoted.